Whenever wrestling is done right, there is no greater form of sport, spectacle, or entertainment in the world. It's art. It's an escape, an excuse to be a kid again, where nothing else matters except the moment you're in. But when wrestling isn't done right, whenever the stories just aren't clicking, whenever your investment into these characters isn't rewarded,
oh brother,
it's pain. It's a
2-pack of ass.
and genuinely the biggest piece of dog shit you've ever seen. There's no better parallel to this feeling than John Cena's retirement run. Now, if there's one thing you need to know about me,
I love John Cena!
if it wasn't for a certain Doctor of Thuganomics busting rhymes on UPN and all that he has done for me, this love story with professional wrestling never gets off the ground. There's no lifelong fandom, there's no YouTube channel, and there definitely ain't no videos like this. So of course, I cried a little thug tear, or 20, on that fateful Independence Day weekend when
The greatest of all time.
officially announced his retirement from the WWE. And of course, I was hyped to see what 2025 had in store for us. A full year of John Cena for the last time? After experiencing the road to WrestleMania 40, what you talking about, son? With all the momentum WWE had going for them, please tell me, where did it all go wrong? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what I'm here for. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of EK Wrestling. My name is Brandon. Now that the dust has settled and Cena's career has come to a close, we can finally talk about the year that was. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So grab you some popcorn and a nice ice cold beer. Today, we're gonna drop some gospel on ya. The cold, hard truth about how WWE wasted the GOAT's final year. If you would have told little Brando that WWE would have the cojones to turn John Cena heel in the final year of his career, his brain would have gone,
Whoa! 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 What is happening?
it was so inconceivable, especially after so many years of being told it would never happen. But then it actually did. In the land of maple syrup, witnessed by the 69 God himself, the poster boy for truth, justice, and the American way, turn to the dark side. At the time, it felt like we were on the precipice of something generational. Because you had the goddamn Rock,
And his name is John Cena.
two of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. We're talking Mount Rushmore type.
Shit.
And two of the biggest stars in Hollywood, by the way, formed a deadly alliance against star melanated king, the good brother Cody Raheem Rhodes. Cena was Vader, Rock was Palpatine, and Cody was Luke Skywalker. WrestleMania 40 was definitely WWE's version of Avengers Endgame, but WrestleMania 41 was set to be the Empire Strikes Back, baby! My expectations were through the roof. How could they not be? We had just seen the biggest heel turn in WWE history, arguably the greatest in all of wrestling history if you don't count that other guy. The hype was real. It captured the world's attention. I had friends who don't even watch wrestling ask me about this. It got this country bumpkin right here to fly his ass all the way to Vegas. The anticipation of what was to come sent everyone into a frenzy. For the first time ever, Mr. Always Do the Right Thing actually did something wrong. And we all wondered why. Why did John Cena turn his back on all of the fans and all of the kids? Why did he align himself with that soul-stealing devil? And why in the blue hell was Travis Scott there? There were so many questions that needed so many answers. Answers that we never really got. In hindsight, we probably should have known something was off whenever Rock didn't show up after Elimination Chamber. He didn't make a single appearance on Raw,
No.
on SmackDown,
Nope.
on NXT,
No.
via satellite,
No.
and Cena didn't even mention Rock once, even though Rock was the guy who ordered the hit. Instead, Cena spent all of his time flapping his gums and complaining about the fans, about how he's been mistreated, that he's just a human being, and nobody cares about his feelings. There was something else he kept whining about. It's on the tip of my tongue. Something about wanting to
Ruin wrestling. What did he say?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I did think that all of that was pretty weird whenever I first watched it, and I did feel like what Cena was saying didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I got distracted with the novelty of heel Cena, the absurdity of getting dumped by my childhood hero, how he straight buried that kid in Brussels, and how he locked in, going bar for bar with Cody to deliver the promo battle of the year. Plus, knowing how notorious Triple H is for dragging things out. Gotta love that long-term storytelling, people. I thought they were saving the big guns for WrestleMania. Surely they would tie all of this together, and everything would lead to Rock coming back and helping Cena win the title at WrestleMania, right? They had to follow up at what happened at the Chamber, right?
Not a chance.
Oh, hell no. We got
Nothing.
I'm sorry. I thought that getting
Nothing.
was a way for them to justify not changing Cena's look so they could continue shilling out that farewell merch. I didn't think that
Nothing.
actually meant not getting good creative, not getting the final boss, not getting a WrestleMania worthy main event, and sending out somebody that nobody wanted as the big moment in said lackluster match. Yeah, I know we popped, but we thought that Travis Scott coming out meant The Rock was on his way too. Why else would he be there? He was supposed to be the herald of the final boss. The Silver Surfer ain't showing up unless Galactus is gonna eventually pull up too. So where was The Rock? He promised us that he'd be at Mania. This is how you follow up the biggest wrestling angle in 30 years? This is how John Cena won the never-seen 17th World Championship?
Well, this sucks.
Fam, I was disgusted. WWE ran off the damn plug with Mania, dog. Because the whole Cena angle is what convinced me to go to WrestleMania in the first place. So you could probably imagine the anger I felt when I saw Dwayne drag his big ass onto the Pat McAfee show, giving excuse after excuse of why he didn't show up. Oh, the final boss's work is done now. Give me a break, man. Why the hell you agree to something you never intended to finish? Not only did Rock tank the momentum of what could have been one of the greatest storylines we've ever seen, but he made everything that he did after WrestleMania 40 utterly meaningless. What happened to being 20 steps ahead of everybody? Buddy, this ride that you promised you'd take us on has gone off the damn rails. Now, to be fair, while a lot of the blame for why the Cena heel character never really reached his full potential can be pointed towards the absence of that
Bald fraud.
some things have become abundantly clear over time. There were never any grandiose long-term plans for this character. It wasn't about creating the biggest heel faction since the NWO. WWE just wanted to create a moment, to create some buzz around the Elimination Chamber PLE. This was for vibes, clicks, and reactions, more revenue. But this was still the start of a story that broke into the mainstream, the cultural zeitgeist. The story that would carry your programming into the summer and shape the trajectory of Cena's last year in wrestling. So you don't have The Rock.
Whoop-de-doo.
You don't have The Rock, but you still have John Cena and the chance to make this run truly remarkable. So what do? For a guy who preaches all about finding your why, they really screwed the pooch on the why of this heel turn. Do you guys actually know why John Cena turned heel? I'm not talking about the behind the scenes, creative Paul Levesque reasoning. I'm talking about the actual character and storyline reason why. Because what we see play out on screen every week is much more important than any drama or power struggle going on backstage. This is a TV show at the end of the day, and TV shows tell stories for which the why matters. It makes or breaks the integrity of the characters and stories you're trying to tell. So what was going to be the all-important why? The center, the foundation of the company's A story. The reason why Superman gave up his cape.
Fuck you!
That's why. I told you we were gonna get back to the whole ruining wrestling and shitting all over the fan shtick. But dude, are you really telling me that this was the best they could possibly come up with? Yeah, I already know what you're gonna say. Yes, I was there back in the day when it wasn't so cool to be a John Cena fan. I remember all of the years of the iconic
Cena sucks! Let's go Cena! Cena sucks!
I'll concede that Cena's patience reaching a breaking point, so much so that he masterminds a plan to shit on all of his haters, dump all of his longtime fans, and break the wishes of all the kids around the world, would have been a perfect reason why, if this would have happened when it should have over a decade ago, during the peak of audience fatigue with Super Cena. But this being the reason that he turned heel in big 2025? That's like so 2012. Everybody loves John Cena these days. He hadn't been booed in years. The fans who really hated Cena have been moved on. Now the majority of the audience is full of adults like me who grew up as or have always been Chain Gang soldiers and members of the C Nation, new fans who have only been watching for a handful of years, and kids who truly see John Cena as the greatest of all time. Newsflash, the beef with the fans was squashed a long time ago. It was already going to be an uphill battle trying to make this living legend one of the true GOATs, a villain during the final year of his career, where the big draw in every market was that he was going to be there for the last time. Why would you make things harder on yourselves by grounding his character in something that was so phony? Heel Cena failed, not because The Rock didn't show up. It failed because the entire foundation of his character was complete bullshit. Personally, for me, I think the why should have been desperation. A man staring at the end of his career, knowing that he only has 1 year left, and his opportunities to be at the top are coming few and far between. Knowing the reality of his body's limitations, and the established kayfabe story that Cena hadn't been able to win a singles match in 7 years, it writes itself. A real midlife crisis story that everybody can relate to. Would that really have been so difficult? Instead, we got this, and that wasn't so good at all. As grateful as I am that we got to see Cena wrestle Randy Orton and CM Punk, I can't pretend that the heel character didn't taint my enjoyment of those matches. Sure, we'll throw you a bone and give you these final encounters you've been begging us to see, but we're also gonna make Cena team with Travis Scott and Logan Paul, and damn it, pal, you're gonna like it. Just awful. And don't get me started on all the R-Truth stuff. Ugh, such wasted potential there. Mind you, all of this sucked up 4 months of Cena's farewell tour. That's time and dates we can't get back. By the time SummerSlam was approaching, I was just like, dude, put me out of my misery. Triple H and TKO managed to make me feel something I've never felt towards John Cena. Apathy. I almost stopped watching entirely, but I couldn't let the little Brando down inside of me. So I kept watching, hoping against hope that they would maybe turn things around, but I was emotionally checked out. Then, unexpectedly, something strange happened. Unceremoniously, Cena turned back babyface the night before SummerSlam. The heel gimmick was gone. Just like that. But hey, it wasn't working. And I think they realized that they were running out of time. So they decided to pivot. As crazy as it may sound, I'm kind of glad that they dropped things when they did. Because I don't think Cody Cena 2 would have been as good if they still tried to make Cena wrestle as a heel. I don't know if I can properly convey what their SummerSlam match actually meant to me as a fan. I've spent this whole video telling you how much Cena means to me. But I've got another confession to make. I'm a massive Cody crybaby too. I met this man at the first AEW Dynamite in Charlotte.
We're on the Enlightened Comedy channel. You need to subscribe. You got to turn on notifications. The whole deal, right?
Definitely.
Look at this Darby. Give me the one side. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. And this your friend? Are we ignoring?
Yes.
Get in here, baby.
I watched him go from undesirable
To goddamn deniable!
had my dreams crushed whenever he lost to Roman, and went into complete euphoria when he won the Rumble. So getting this proper clash of titans, this Superman versus Goku type battle, the old Cena versus the new Cena, for lack of a better term, my two favorite wrestlers going head to head and not stinking up the joint, but actually putting together an all-time classic was truly special. This match alone restored my faith and investment in the Cena character. Because before this, I thought my GOAT was washed. I felt really bad because I didn't think he physically had it in him anymore. And I didn't think that they could make me care about this run after how badly they butchered the first half of the year. But Cena wound back the clock to the days of old, and he made me feel like a kid again. And nothing else mattered except that very moment I was in. What an emotional high that was. So of course, after I opened my heart back up to this farewell tour, these dirty bastards yanked that shit away immediately by bringing back Brock Lesnar. Brock? The man with the weird case of why is he around? Are we trying to summon the ghost of Vince McMahon back to this company with bad creative and sus individuals? But before you, well, actually me, I know he technically hasn't been charged or yet confirmed to have done anything as heinous as the old man. Ugh. But golly, man, is the company that bad off that we need Brock? Are the Fed soldiers that moved by Brock Lesnar matches? What does he got that Braun Breaker, Obafemi, and Jacob Fatu don't? Did I watch WrestlePalooza to see if I would be proved wrong? SummerSlam did resurrect the momentum that they lost since March. Cody Cena 2 was excellent, and Cena was able to give Logan the best match he's ever had. And the promos? Cena was back in his bag. Maybe, just maybe, they could channel some of that Extreme Rules magic and make WrestlePalooza the WrestleMania level PLE that they promised. Yeah, and maybe TKO will lower these prices so that families can afford to attend shows again. The match was horrible, anticlimactic, and another case of reheating old nachos that nobody wanted. Feeding Cena to Brock to get him over again? No more. You broke my heart once with fumbling the heel turn, and I let you trick me by making me hope in Super Cena when I thought I was done. But after WrestlePalooza, you couldn't make me believe again. Not like you did before, not in Super Cena, or that this retirement run would be worth a damn. You weren't gonna break my heart anymore. The little kid inside me grew up. His heart became cold. And you tried to smooth things over by giving us the AJ Styles match and the IC title win. But doing all this within the last 5 dates he had left? Were they dope? Yeah, those things were cool, but just a little too late, man. The damage was already done. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas. It's probably in Tennessee.
It says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Other than what went wrong with heel Cena, I think it's pretty safe to assume that Cena's retirement match with Gunther will continue to be the most talked about aspect of the entire farewell tour for years to come. The man who lived by hustle, loyalty, and respect, who embodied never giving up for 20 years, tapped out with a smile on his face. After how hard I was on WWE throughout this video, you're probably expecting me to go full scorched earth on this decision. How could they do Cena dirty like this? He should have won his last match. Gunther didn't need the win, or even if he was gonna lose, he didn't have to tap out. He could have passed out. While I respect how all of my fellow members of the C Nation feel, I'm not gonna shit on this decision. I'm a very passionate guy. You should know this by now, but I can't fake how I feel. This particular outcome didn't make me upset. I just felt indifferent. Was I a bit shocked when he tapped? Oh yeah, but that was the extent of it. I knew what they were going for whenever I watched the match, and Cena confirmed it on the podcast with Cody, the whole life/career flashing before his eyes, being comfortable with letting go. Yeah, I got it. But Brandon, why would Cena tap out? His character would never do that. You don't understand. I hate to break it to you, but they assassinated Cena's character long before his final match in DC. Before this year, you probably would have thought Cena would never turn on the fans, and especially the kids, but they had him do that too. So him tapping out ain't even really all that crazy at this point. This was just the latest deflating moment in a largely disappointing year. And losing to Gunther is nowhere near as bad as losing to Brock in the way that he did, by the way. At least the Gunther match was good. To me, the last time is now just reinforced that they really didn't even have a solid plan of how this year was gonna go. This is supposed to be the company of cinematic long-term storytelling. What happened? Because this was just poor execution all around the board. Let's go back to the why that we talked about earlier. If you knew that this was the way that Cena's career was going to end, why wasn't the story of this whole year about his unwillingness to let it all go? Go back to my pitch for the heel run, the midlife crisis story. Wouldn't this match have been the perfect ending if they told the proper heel story from the jump? If we got that, then this would have been the greatest story of Cena's entire career. And I feel like it would have given us a much better catharsis for Cena's last year in wrestling. But unfortunately, WWE wasted a golden opportunity, and we got a year of empty promises, dropped balls, and broken hearts. Oh, what could have been. At any rate, that's what I think of Cena's farewell tour. I'm pretty sure it's not just me that feels this way. Other people probably feel this way too. But let's not talk about what I feel and what other people feel. I want to know how you feel. What did you think of the last time is now, the heel run, the entire year as it was? Am I just being a negative Nancy, and did you actually enjoy Cena's last year in wrestling? Does the good outweigh the bad? Don't be shy. Make sure you do the Stu run to the comment section and let us know exactly what you think. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of EK Wrestling. I love you, and I sincerely appreciate your support. Regardless of how Cena's year shaped up to be, I still have hope for the future of the business. We have a lot to look forward to, not just in WWE, but AEW, internationally, around the country, in your local indie scene. And if nothing else, when it comes to WWE, I do think Cena achieved his goal and that he left it a lot better than when he found it. Until next time, always remember that wrestling is not a love story. It's much more than that. It's hope. And in a world surrounded by hate, greed, and violence, a world where closure may never come, we all know a place that has hot and cold hope on tap, for better or for worse. Take care, guys.